Jersey boy, wild heart, there you see. Referee in the ring like a hockey beat. Mike Chioda, nickname Coyote, from the Garden State down to Florida Sea. Wrestling chaos, he stands in between, third man in the ring, you know what I mean. Brings the order in the WWE scene. Coyote howls where the palm trees lean. Monday mailbag with a roar and a cheer. Mike Chioda that brings the fire, don't you fear. Stories and memories, all we'll hear. Coyote rules the night loud and clear.
Woo! Welcome in, Monday Mailbag. Where's all the coyotes at? Yeah, we are live. I am your peon co-host, Cassio. We are here with the man, the myth, the legend, the third man in the ring, Mr. Mike Chioda. How are you, brother?
Man, I'm great, Cass. How you doing, brother? What's happening?
Man, doing great. Good to see you, brother. We got a lot to get to, my friend.
Yes.
We got a lot to get to. We got a mailbag. We'll get to some of those, but we also are filming in front of a live, not studio audience, but YouTube audience. Thanks, everybody, for joining us there. Already got a couple people in there. There's Ashley. What's up, guys, watching for work? Thanks, Ashley.
What's up, Ashley?
With the Mike Chioda shirt on in the thumbnail. How about that, brother?
Yes.
Thanks, Ashley.
The package is in the mail. Montana, it is.
Dave McClay is in the house. Thanks, buddy. Everybody else is watching. Y'all drop questions if you got them, and we will get to as many of those as we can. Mike, me and you were talking, and we were excited because when we're recording this, the night before is Dark Side of the Ring has just debuted season 6. We love this show. You've been on this show, Mike. First of all, as we are 5 seasons in, just talk about what you think about Dark Side of the Ring, man. I as a fan, think they do a very good job. Right. What's your thoughts about Dark Side of the Ring?
Yeah, I think they do a fantastic job. I mean, sometimes, a lot of it's a little, depressing, but it's the truth. It's the real story, right? So, I mean, everything, and, sometimes sad stories and the truth, it sells. That's for sure. So Dark Side of the Ring, they do a fantastic job, phenomenal job on there. I've been on there twice already. And actually, I was called to do this one, but it didn't work into the budget plan and near the end, So they got back to me and said, I'm sorry, it didn't fit into the budget. But, I talked to Mick prior to that because Mick had said something to you. He was like, Mike, man, I mentioned your name, they're going to do this Dark Side of the Ring and everything. And, I said, yeah, Mick, they reached out to me. And we were talking about things at the time, but then about a month later, they said, "Oh, it's just not fitting in the budget." So that's all good. Seen Jimmy Corderas on there, and it was great to see him on there. And so it didn't work out, but I think they do a phenomenal job. They tell the truth, whether it's a sad story or in wrestling, professional wrestling, or it's a great story. And the one with season 6 with Mick Foley, man, it was a fantastic story. That's for sure.
So let's talk about that. Season 6, episode 1, Hell in a Cell.
Ooh.
Just an amazing match, of course. We all know it if you're a wrestling fan, which I'm sure you are if you're listening to this podcast. Hell in a Cell comes out, and I'm watching it. Just your first overall thoughts, Mike, of what you watched.
Man, it was just a phenomenal night. It was unbelievable. Mick Foley and Undertaker took that Hell in a Cell to a whole nother level that nobody can repeat, really. Nobody would be able to repeat what they did in 98. And let me tell you, that Pittsburgh crowd, they were always kind of a quiet crowd. It was weird. We'd sell out that Civic Arena. We'd sell out that arena, 15,000 people. And sometimes just ask ourselves, why did they come if they don't want to cheer and boo and just get into the matches? It was really weird. If you did anything with the Steelers or you brought it, somebody came out in a Steeler jersey, they'd go nuts. But that night, it just brought a whole different. I mean, man, when they seen that bump, and it was amazing. I mean, us in the back were just like fucking shocked. We didn't know how they were going to get into it up top. We knew something was going on. We knew something up top because the cage was rigged with a bunch of tie wraps and stuff. So, and there was a couple sections that were, made up there. And actually they sunk in a couple spots. And I remember they were having problems. I thought I thought they were just gonna fall through the cage at some point. But after that bump, it was just everybody was so shocked. And it was like just Mick Foley doing it for himself, doing it really for the business. It wasn't really for himself. It was just for the business. And I'll tell you, that's one thing Vince McMahon, I thought he never forgot. Because that next night in Raw was just fucking unbelievable. And I mean, so Dark Side of the Ring really did a great job on this whole season 6.
Sorry there. I took a couple quick notes while I was watching it because I knew I was going to get a chance to talk to you.
Right.
And you've mentioned a couple things. First, I wanted to know, what did you know going into the match? I know you don't know the whole match, but do they tell you we've got a big bump coming, so on standby? What all did they tell you going in?
It was just be on standby, totally be on standby. I mean, throughout the day, like, we were taking care of the ring at that time. I was still doing ring crew. And we knew the cage was getting, gimmicked up and everything. So we knew there was going to be a big bump through the cage at some point because, once the momentum of somebody maybe like Taker choke slam them, it's going to bust those tie wraps. But they were busting as they were because when I got in the ring, we seen nothing but tie wraps. I seen them like they were all over the place, little pieces. Didn't know much, man. We just knew something was going to happen. So it was an amazing story how Mick came up with the finish, and sitting on a couch with one of the old time greats. And, it's just amazing how the start of the match was like that. It was just, it's amazing.
Maybe I should go back just a little bit too. I want to get this. What do you remember about the whispers and the murmurs of Cactus Jack possibly coming to WWE? Did you know much about him before he signed? What was your take on that?
No, we heard. I mean, we heard Vince didn't. Like there was a lot of guys that Vince didn't want Shawn Michaels. Real quick, Shawn didn't want Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty from the Rockers coming in. Pat Patterson had to convince Vince to bring them in.
Yeah,
because he loved the Rockers and he's seen something in them and he's seen something in that kid Shawn. He said, he always knew. So there was a lot of guys close to Vince in his inner circle that had to convince Vince sometimes of bringing somebody in. And I mean, you heard him, Mick Foley on the Indies. You know what I'm saying? Like, everywhere going, like you've seen clips of him doing crazy stuff with barbed wire and fire and everything. I've never seen a guy in my 35 career probably have so many gimmicks like he did and get over it with every one of them.
Every one of them. Incredible.
Incredible. Yeah.
So let's go back to the ring. Were you zip tying? Is that somebody else?
No, that was somebody else with the cage. Yeah. Yep.
So you guys put the ring up and then they have a whole separate cage crew?
Yeah, well, we were helping setting the cages up back then. We'd help with everything, but those were done by the gimmick guys like Nick Daw and certain guys that were running like Richie Posner, and they would run gimmicks in the back and all the stuff they would do with the table exploding, loosen up the tables, do that, and that's another thing. They had no airbags under that table in 1990. They were that was the first bump ever done like that. It's like,
wow.
When Shane came off the cage, we had airbags underneath to break the cushion. Mick hit that table just right where he kind of hit it on an angle and he kind of broke his fall, but he slid off. The only thing I think we didn't do good enough because we didn't have the barriers like they do now and they did it recently over the years, the thick barriers, the wall. We had barricades, bicycle racks. And we should have brought them back further because, man, he could have slid off that table and just.
He was super close. I mean, his legs went underneath when he fell.
Underneath the yeah, yep. That was the first time I actually noticed that. When I watched it last night.
You were you watching in Gorilla? Where were you at when this is starting?
Oh, in Gorilla, ready to go. Because it starts off hot in the beginning, right? It starts off hot. We kind of thought there wasn't going to be a bell because he always used to be, want that bell inside the cage. But it started off hot when he went up to the cage, and Mick had made a couple statements. when he was laying there. We have that pic, right? When he was laying there and I was laying over him.
Yeah. Let
When
me
he
let me
goes,
get let me get to that though.
yeah, because we put him on the stretcher, and then they wanted him back on the stretcher, and he wouldn't get on the stretcher second time. He would not get back on that stretcher.
Yeah, so they start on the cage, and like you mentioned, zip ties are flying everywhere. They're popping as soon as they're
Right. In that
walking into
area.
the
Yeah, his
area.
right foot. Right. Yep.
Yeah, and then of course, as they go, the first spot comes out where, like you mentioned, he flies off, he hits the Spanish announce table.
Always in
You
Spanish. Yep.
you came flying out as soon as that happened. I'm sure they're telling you to go.
Right.
What do you remember first of getting to him at the table?
Just making sure he was okay, man. I mean, didn't know what was broken, if anything was broken. Um, so it was just we got the Iggy right. I got the Iggy right away that he was okay. I mean, he was hurting. It took him. Yeah, I'm sure he felt it. Breath out of him. Kidneys, ribs, or something like that. I believe he hurt his kidneys or bruised. I remember he said something that was damaged for like 6 weeks. It hurt him.
Yeah, he said he
Um,
bruised his kidney.
yeah, his kidneys or
Uh,
something.
do you do you was Terry supposed to always be the first guy out there, or did he just run out?
Yeah,
What do you remember?
I thought he was going to be the first guy out.
Okay,
You know,
yeah, because he shot out first. That
right?
was,
Because of course he knew what was going on, but we were kind of more less kayfabe,
it
because
seems like
he
thinking
came up
about it.
with the spot.
Yeah, you seem though like if another wrestler came out to check on him,
Right,
I don't know if it would all be believable, but Terry Funk and just street clothes coming out to check on his buddy,
right.
as a fan, you were like, dude, they're legit worried. They're just coming out to check on him as humans.
No
This
shit.
isn't like a storyline deal.
Right, right.
So that was pretty crazy.
That was real
Also,
crazy.
also we got the doctor, Francois
Ah,
Petit.
yeah, I
Tell
remember.
me, tell me about we haven't talked about him a lot. Tell me about Dr. Francois.
He was a good doctor, man. He was good. Yeah, he did some martial arts. He was like a 5'4" guy, 5'5", 5 foot, small but very spunky. A lot of energy, man. Just a great doctor, good doctor, and he fixed you up, man. I'll tell you, when I was hurting, my lower back or this was out, he'd adjust you, take care of you. And he was a medical doctor, so and I think like he said, he worked for us about 4 or 5 years or so. But he was a great guy, man. And but sometimes you didn't know to take him serious because of his accent and the way he always just say things like you okay, baby, you're good, you're good. Da, da, da. I'm thinking, oh man, does he know what he's talking about? But he was a good doc, so I mean, he was all right, man.
So they talk about how they come out with that stretcher like you were talking about.
Right. And remember, we have no trainers at this point.
It's
We have no trainers.
It's just Dr. Francois.
Just Dr. Francois, and that's it. Then we had like Dr. Roma Scabbage after that for a while. Um,
They
yeah.
talked
So
well. They talked about how they couldn't get the stretcher around because it
right,
was like you said,
it was
the
tight.
barrier was too tight.
Right.
How do you remember getting signal back for them to go raise that?
I think we had the IFBs at that time.
Oh, you
but
did? Okay.
We couldn't talk back to them though. We didn't have the equipment to talk back to him at that time. We just heard, and that would suck because we couldn't answer him. We'd have to go to the timekeeper and do a swing by or say something to Mark Yaton just to let them know something back in Gorilla. So and then you give certain signals, like if I checked on him, you'd like, is he okay? And you'd raise your arm like this, just raise your arm up, and that was a signal back to he's okay. Of course, that was the the injury real bad.
So before we get to the big fall that we're going to talk about, of course, that really is insane that there's two huge falls in this match.
Right.
This is the I didn't realize it until watching Dark Side of the Ring. That is my I guess lack of fandom or knowledge.
Right.
I'm not Conrad Thompson as much as I try to be, but first appearance of Tax in WWE. What do you remember that?
Man, the Tax, if it was you.
have you done a lot of tag matches?
Oh yeah, yeah. I could tell you a little quick story when Mick Foley wrestled fucking Randy Orton. Boy, was he bitching, Randy. Randy was fucking bitching. Like, why the fuck? I was just like, just thinking of payday, Randy. Just thinking of fucking payday. I mean, he was getting fucking whacked and bumps off of here and off and tacks and everything. And he had like 50, 60 tacks in his back. And I was like, and Randy, like, he likes to keep like a no scar body and fucking he
Yeah.
wants, he's good, great shape, great body, and I don't blame him. He was always fucking cool like that. But I remember him, he was like, why the fuck did I fucking get into this fucking match? As he's selling, and we're talking in the ring. But
did you ever catch a stray? Did you ever catch a tack? In the hand or anything?
Hand,
Counting?
arm, yeah, the knee and stuff like oh yeah. I'm like, yeah, I've got some few tacks. They sting, boy. They sting you real quick. Even one, especially when I used to count. And if you've seen like certain matches, I'd swipe the mat real quick.
Okay.
Where I'd go down, just kind of clean it out, or something like that, just a little bit. But there were so many times I remember hitting the mat on TV. It was boom, and I went, oh fuck! Like I just stopped counting. It's like it was just like instant pain, man. But
speaking of the mat, Dave McClay wants to know: was this match
what's
back when
up,
the
Dave?
ring was like concrete? It
You
looked
know what?
very unforgiving when he fell.
That's a fucking very good point. I don't know. I think
It looked pretty stiff.
I don't think we went to planks yet. 98. I don't think we went to planks yet. Yeah, we probably had the spring. You know what? I'm gonna find that out. That's a great question, Dave. And how you doing, brother? Good to see you back.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah,
Thanks for
so
that,
I'll
Dave.
let you know, Dave. That was a good because I don't think we I don't think we went to the plank ring yet at that point. Maybe. So I'll find that out though.
All right, and then of course we're getting to the big fall. Of course, they go through. He is laying there. The tacks are out.
Yeah.
The stretcher's out again.
Yeah.
You are talking to him. What do you remember about this moment? If you're not watching on YouTube, we've got a pickup. You can see Mick lying there. He's got tacks in his arms. He's on the stretcher. I can see Tim White. You see is that Slaughter on the outside.
Yeah.
But you are down on one knee in his face.
Right.
Talk me through this, Mike.
So after the first bump, you knew he had some type of concussion off the table. Now, this bump was like, okay, it was a lot shorter distance, but it was such an impact. I mean, I know the table was a huge impact, but God, this impact I think was worse than the table, because it was just short and it's still a great amount of distance. But when he choke slams him and he hits that so hard, I know Cornette said something about his tooth went up, he swallowed it, and it came back out his nose. That's not true though, because that tooth went right through his lip, and it was up in his nose. And I thought it was a booger at first, And he's asking me, Mick, at that point. At first, he said, Mike, he goes, have I been on the stretcher before? Okay. And I said, yes, Mick, you were. He goes, I'm not getting on a stretcher the second time. I'm not getting back on, And they kept telling him, I remember in my ear and everything, they would get him on the fucking stretcher, get him on the stretcher. Because the refs were the only ones that had the IFBs, not the agents. The agents didn't even, if you noticed, any of the agents that were out there don't have IFBs. So he wouldn't get back on a stretcher the second time. He didn't want to stay on a stretcher. And then I thought it was a booger that was up his nose. And I seen this gash in his lip, like huge gash. And I thought it was a booger. I swear. I was like, oh shit, you got this booger. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, Mick, your fucking tooth is in your nose. He's like, oh, no shit. Oh, man. I'm like, his fucking tooth was literally lodged up in his nose. I'm telling you that because the impact was so strong, I think the second time, because on that table, he hits it. The impact was great. Don't get me wrong. And no cushion underneath that table. No fucking cushion. And he just kind of slides, but it kind of broke his fall and he slid off it, which was just perfect. And I remember Mick taking I remember seeing that back, and I remember a long time ago thinking Mick took his own bump on that, because if you see Taker just kind of went through the motion, but I don't think he forced him or anything, because I think Mick was taking his own
on
bump.
the table.
Yeah, on the table.
Yeah, yeah. He
Perfect.
kind of, yeah,
He
he kind
kinda
of just went with him.
yeah, and just
Mick,
kinda
yeah,
and he
Mick
flipped
basically
over
did it.
perfect, you know?
Yeah,
Flipped over
that was the
perfect.
beauty of that.
That was the beauty, right? That was like so and the second time, the impact, I think, was so much fucking stronger because he was coming down hard and then boom, you know? And that's a good question back to Dave McClay. Was that the spring ring or was that the because I'll tell you, the plank definitely gave a lot more than that spring in the
And
center.
and of course, when he hits the impact from this fall, the chair is smashing him in the face too, which is not helping.
Right,
Which is why part of the damage is done on the
right,
face as well.
right.
And so we finished the match. Unbelievably, he staggers around
Yep.
until we finish the match, which is pretty incredible. And then, of course, you are going back. We have this other picture. If you're not watching along, this is you. Is this in Gorilla or about to go? Looks like it's in Gorilla.
Yeah, it was kind of in gorilla as soon as we got in the gorilla. In the back, some
Pick
Vince
is you.
Vince came
Mick's
with
arm
yeah,
around you.
Jerry
Vince is
Briscoe.
talking to you. Yeah, Briscoe in the corner.
Yeah.
What talk us through this picture, Mike?
Man, it's just I remember Vince asking him if he's okay, and he's just telling him, thank you very much for what you did out there, Mickey. It was fucking unbelievable. Fucking unbelievable. I remember just Vince putting him over, bro, and thanking him and coming to check on him right away, you know.
Is Mick still in the days here? I mean, he
Oh
probably
yeah, yeah, I believe so. I believe so. I mean, when you hit that ring mat, I mean that ring, and when your tooth just lodges and goes
incredible.
through your lip, and he says I remember he had a big gash. He said in uh in Dark Side of the Ring that he received, I think 16 stitches,
Yeah,
maybe something
15
like
or
that.
16. Yeah, yeah.
That's a lot on your lip, bro.
That's incredible.
Underneath, So I mean, that tooth went right. It just spiked right through that lip up in his nose. I mean, that's how hard the impact was.
Incredible. They wrap it up. Of course, they talk about the damage it is for surely done on his body that he's going
Oh,
to have to deal with at some point. Hopefully not, but
right.
I mean, I know that he's already going. You see him walk now and the whole deal, and
Yeah, but
if you hear him talk, but
I'll tell you a quick story about Manchester. Oh, we're walking around and looking at Manchester United Stadium,
there you
getting the
go.
whole tour. And I had that lower back issue and everything, right? And he's like, geez, Mike. He's like, you're walking worse than me. And I said, geez, I know, Beck. And my wife started laughing. Meredith started laughing. I'm like, Jesus. I said, I know you've taken 1 million fucking bumps in the ring, and I've taken fucking not even 100 in my career. And I'm walking worse than you. He's like, what's going on? I'm like, it's my lower back. I was walking worse than him, bro. Oh,
It is super cool. I've had a chance to actually open up for him at some of the comedy clubs where he's
right,
told his stories, and
right,
it was good to see him talk about that, about how he's trying to keep his mental focus going. You know
right,
what I mean? Because if
right.
you look, you saw him more recently than I have. If you
Yeah,
watch pods that were on AFS for a while, you saw him recently. If you see him, hey, talking skills, there's no problem. I mean,
right.
he's there still.
He's
He's
there.
still Mick
Oh,
Foley, yeah, which is
he's a very
so
intelligent
good.
guy too, man. He's
Yeah.
very intelligent, bro. When you have conversations with him, he's very intelligent.
I got a chance to hang out with his family too. His family's fantastic. His
Yeah,
sons are great.
nice.
And so just wishing him the best, man. Like it said, like you said, like everyone said, it was an epic night in wrestling, one that'll live longer than both of those guys,
Yeah,
and everybody involved
I know.
will live forever. And it changed the business for the better.
Right.
We'll never forget it. And so thank you to
Yeah.
Taker and,
Yeah.
of course,
Thank you.
Foley.
Shoot. Thank you, Taker. Thank you, Mick Foley. I mean,
And great job, Dark Side of the Ring.
yeah,
That
great
was a
job, man.
great
Great job.
episode. We'll
Great
talk about
episode.
those some more as they come out if y'all like to. But we also want to make sure we get to y'all's questions. Thanks for being patient. We wanted to make sure we got a part of that because Mike was a part of that as well. So wanted to make sure we got your take
You got it.
here. Let's see what we got. Matthew Rodriguez is in the chat. He says, Mike, Alex from Spain. I want you to make emotional. Your ref matches saved my life. So thank you. I love you, man. I have autism. I was bullied for 15 years and now I'm better than ever.
All
Thanks.
right. You
Thanks,
got it, Matthew. All right. That's nice, man.
Matthew
Thank you for
Rodriguez,
coming on
Alex,
and sharing
brother
that, Matthew.
from Spain, man. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
that's awesome, man. Awesome. I love Spain.
Buddy,
Well,
stay strong.
thank you for sharing that, Matthew. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. Thanks for coming on the show, man.
Yeah, that was big of you to
Stay
post. Brave
strong.
of you. We appreciate it.
Yes,
And
sir.
glad you got to talk to the man that helped you right here.
That's it, man. Thank you, man.
Let's see what we got.
Mm.
And now he's got a question. Let's see. Do you remember the dangerous spot at Bragging Rights 2009 of Cena and Orton in the Iron Man match? You were the ref, and Orton goes to the pyro table, and Orton tried to blow Cena up.
I know I'm screaming at Orton. Orton's like, which button do I press here? Yeah, but it was all gimmicked. He's just boom, boom at a certain time. It was a pretty cool spot.
Fun
I'm
spot.
screaming at fucking Orton. I know he's trying to blow Cena up.
That's great.
That is a good spot, man. I remember that.
Let's see what we got. Dave McClay in the chat says, Mike, when are you coming back to WWE to join The Rock and Cena as the Hell Ref?
Yes, Dave. When you become the writer, I think they're looking for writers, man. So when you become the writer,
if it's up to us next week, brother.
Yes.
Let's see. We got a couple more. I also want to make sure we get to the mailbag questions as well. But Darren is in the chat.
Cool.
Darren said, Mike, thoughts on the Ric Flair Act in North Carolina, which allocates funds to build a pro wrestling museum in North Carolina to celebrate this state's history with wrestling.
Really? I didn't hear about that.
I did not either. If that's the case, that's huge.
Shoot, yeah, that is huge, right? I believe he's doing something like that too, trying to do something like that in North Carolina. But yeah, give me a little more update on that. I'd like to hear about it.
Have you been to Waterloo before, to the Hall of Fame there?
No.
The one Briscoe is in charge of?
Okay.
Yeah, you should check that out. It's a great spot if you're ever up in that way. Yeah, it's great. It's amateur Olympic wrestling with pro wrestling. It's everything, and they have great displays, great people, great history. And I got to go to the ceremony a couple years ago, and it was a fun time, super fun time. And it'd be great if there's another one for North Carolina, even if it's just North Carolina's, just the state.
Right.
Man, they have so much history in that
so
state.
Many, man. Matt Hart, the Hardys, everybody.
The cities are great. You got the whole WCW run. You got all the great cities you guys ran. So incredible stuff there. Let's get to the mailbag. We got Edward B. Ring says Kemper Arena in Kansas City is where Owen Hart tragically died. Was it unsettling to work a show there when WWE came back to that arena?
Yeah, it was kind of weird. It was
you can't not think about it, I would imagine.
Yeah, you couldn't stop thinking about it. I mean, that moment, the shots that you have in your memory of Owen laying there in the ring and stuff. It just didn't. I still have like little memories of that once in a while. So when I see Owen, it just goes to that way. It just goes there. Your memory. It was tough having a show after that incident happened.
Yeah.
I mean, for us and the crowd. I mean, it's just for the fans and for the family. I mean, God, for everybody. But yeah, it was tough for a little while going back to that place. I'm glad we made adjustments and finally got out of there.
Ben Jones, good day, fellas.
Good day, mate. What's happening, Ben?
Said Randy Savage was known to be an obsessive when planning a match, writing every spot down on paper. Did you get to see this for yourself if you worked any of his matches?
No, I did not. No.
You didn't see it or didn't work a match with Randy?
Oh, I worked a match with Randy.
Oh, okay. I was Randy about to say that's going to be a shocker.
Yeah, very. I worked with Randy years.
So you never saw him writing out the spots or writing out the match? Wow.
No, I never seen that, man. I never traveled with him, especially when he was with Elizabeth. Like it was just them two all the time.
Yeah.
He was very protective over it. He didn't travel with anybody else. But no, I never seen him. But I knew he was very, very fucking particular about his matches, man. About what he wanted the ref to do this and do that. So, he was always very, very particular about his spots and so forth.
Did it throw him off much if it got thrown off script, or was he still good at adapting and improvising it when he needed?
Oh no, he was good at
Yeah.
adapting.
Okay.
He
He
was
wasn't
old
OCD
school.
about it where it threw him off because
Oh no, no.
I never saw him get lost in there,
Mhm.
so it seemed like he had it going on.
I mean, if I remember, he was he was a little hot tempered in there at times too, because when things fucked up or if he didn't go right, oh, what the fuck, like, or he'd be like, because if somebody fucked up a spot or something like that. But he's very particular about his matches, and he was very, you know, he was very on point. Just took it very serious, man. He took his character serious, his
Yeah.
gimmick serious. I mean, you never seen him like walk around without his hat and his boots and his, and his gear.
Great question, Ben. Appreciate you
Hey,
hitting us up there, brother.
it was a good question.
Edward's got another one. He said when Mike Tyson showed up on Raw in 1998, he and Steve Austin had the pull apart.
Yeah.
There's a quick shot of
Yeah.
Tyson shoving you by the throat.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that? Was he playing the part? Did you do something to piss him off? Any good stories about that night? I remember seeing Cash fly out of Tyson's suit jacket.
No, that's why I wanted to get down there and pick it up. But yeah, he just kind of shoved me off, and it kind of looked like he was choking me. That spot it looked like he was choking me. But yeah, I remember he just it was all like meant to be and stuff. But those kind of things when they get tough in there and they get raw, they get like riled up, right? They start getting fired up and they start their adrenaline starts going. That's where you get hurt at those pull apart things and stuff like that kind of shit. But no, I mean he didn't hurt me or nothing like that night. But it looked good. It looked good though.
All right. Lauren Easton said, "Have either one of us happened to watch Queen of the Ring yet?" I have not.
No,
I would like to though. I know it came out a few weeks ago. I'm actually behind on all my movies in the theaters, but yeah, I would like to watch it. I have not seen it. Have you seen it, Mike?
No, I have not.
All right.
What's it on Netflix or?
No, it just came out in theaters.
Oh, in theaters. Okay.
Yeah, it's about I believe the 20s or the 40s era of women's wrestling and
Gotcha.
all that good stuff.
Yeah, I seen it coming out. It's coming around. I didn't know it was out in theaters.
All right. Lauren also says on the last mailbag we talked about tattoos. Would a WWE referee ever have to cover up a tattoo if it was visible on camera?
Yeah, I mean, if you notice, a lot of referees didn't have no tattoos from the sleeves down. I had a tattoo like right below the shoulder because I couldn't get it below the sleeve line. Yeah. So, but if you noticed, I think the only one that had that was Danny Davis back in the day. And I think he wore a shirt underneath it because they always want. If you had now, they may let a referee wear sleeves. I think like TNA or something like that. Let's Daniel, Spencer wear one. But for the most part, you weren't allowed to have tats from the sleeve down.
Wow.
Yep.
They just make you wear long sleeves?
Yeah. I don't see anybody in the WWE wearing long sleeves or having tats anywhere far down either.
Let's see what we got here. Adam Krasnoff, the referee in question on last week's episode, when you looked back at the Kennel from Hell match, was none other than Steve Lombardi. In the storyline, the referees were on strike, so Vince had to use scab refs for the pay-per-view. Yeah. Can you talk about Lombardi's role behind the scenes in later years with the WWE? He stuck around for quite some time, well after he retired from the ring.
Yeah, man. I mean, Steve had it made. I mean, with him he was another guy almost like Mick Foley, but kind of didn't perfect the characters as good as Mick Foley did, right? Mick Foley was Cactus Jack, Mankind, Dude Love. I mean, Mick Foley. I mean, he was just everything. And then, Lombardi was like my first match I did. First match I refereed.
Really?
Yeah, it was Steve Lombardi against the Brooklyn Brawler against Barry Horowitz. So, I mean, and I seen Lombardi had a great career. I mean, he Doink the Clown. He was Kim Chi. He was the baseball.
I forgot about Kim.
He was the baseball. So he was the Brooklyn Brawler.
Yeah.
Kim Chi. And he was all these other characters, right? He was the baseball gimmick. He did the baseball thing. So, I mean, He had a great career. Then he went into backstage stuff, into pre-tapes, and he was doing that stuff.
MVP. That's what his name.
MVP, that's what it was. MVP.
Then he was the
That's
Black
right.
Knight.
Yep. Yeah.
Yoink the Clown, like you said.
Yep.
He went
So
by Abe Knuckleball Schwartz at one
Schwartz, that's
time.
it.
Yeah,
Abe
dude.
Knuckleberg, that's what it was.
That's great.
Yeah. Yep.
That's great.
So yeah, and he did backstage work a lot back. He did pre-tapes and stuff. So, and he worked there for many years, and it was very shocking because he was the always one trying to get me on that Twitter stuff and all this bullshit, right? And I was like, and he kind of got me on it, but I hated being on it. And he's like, "Come on, dude!" And then I remember somehow I remember he did something on Twitter or something, got heat and got fired, got released, something like that. I think.
Mm.
That was a shocker, man, because he's been with the company since day one with me,
Have you talked to him recently? Have you called
I
up?
seen him at a signing. Yeah, I'd seen him at a signing a while back.
Is he doing good?
Yeah, he's doing good. Looks great, man.
Good.
Does.
Carl Hayes hit us up, said, "Hey, gents, baseball season upon us. By the time this drops, yeah, we've had some games. We had the Japanese games over in Japan. Those were super cool." He said, "Baseball season is upon us by the time this drops. Any thoughts on the upcoming season? Any predictions?"
True. I'm looking at Philly to come back. I don't know if Houston's going to make that run, but I think LA's going to repeat.
I mean, it's hard to pick against them.
Yeah, it is. It's hard to pick against them. I like to see Philly come out of the Northeast. I'm a Pirate fan, right? So I'm just begging my Pirates to come over 500 every year if they can get to 500. So it's been a long time for me since I've been able to have something to cheer being a Pirate fan. But
what do you think it'll take for them to get back? New ownership?
New ownership, yeah. Who wants to spend money and build a team around somebody, get somebody and then build a team around somebody, and he just doesn't want to do it. So we'll see, man. I mean, they have a young ball club. Last year they were playing good ball, but then slipped down at the end of the year, and they're just they're way under 500 again. They haven't done anything really since 1992, 93 with Draybeck and all those guys. So,
yeah,
and or back in the day with Willie Stargell and all them. So, but I think LA's going to repeat. They only got stronger. I want to say that the Nationals might. I don't know. I don't think about the Nationals. Yeah, I think Philly's going to come out of the National League. LA.
I definitely think it'll be Philly and Braves. They'll be fighting.
Yeah, Braves. I think the Braves will come up again. They've been strong, knocking the door strong for the last couple of years. We'll see.
Dodgers in the West, of course.
Yeah, but I think it's going to be Dodgers, Philly, and then Dodgers beat Philly maybe or something.
All right. What about the American League?
I think the Yanks might come up. I think the Yanks might get there this year.
Whoa,
even though I think they lost Carlos Santana, I think they lost Santana.
That's a dark horse.
But I think the Yanks might come up this year. We'll see. Who else? I don't know who else said it.
Boston's supposed to get a little bit better.
Boston,
I think they got some big free agents. Seattle's kind of that sleeper team. Nobody really watches their games, and then they come up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
As always, I think the Rangers and Astros will be in it somehow.
Right.
In the playoffs. I don't know if they can make some damage, but they're always going to be there. I like the young Orioles from last year. They kind of came out of nowhere. I don't know if they can repeat, but we'll see. It feels like the AL is closer in talent than the NL. The NL is kind of top heavy to me.
Right.
You're getting the NL. The Phillies are good. The Dodgers are good.
Right.
The Braves are good. You're probably going to get the Cubs or the Reds or somebody that's going to be good.
Right.
Diamondbacks were a sleeper last year. So I feel like NL's kind of top heavy there. We know who's kind of going to be good. There's obviously going to be a surprise somewhere, but AL kind of seems wide open, doesn't it?
Yeah, it kind of does. If you look at the last 7 years, when I was still in Houston, me and Merritt used to go see the Astros a lot. I became an Astros fan living there because it was a lot of fun being in that, like seeing the Astros play. Altuve and all these guys. They're just unbelievable ball players, Bregman and all these guys. So then you would see like who was playing the Astros. It was LA and Houston. I mean, they've been strong for the last 5 to 7 years. Astros have been strong for many years in the last 5, 7 years. So the Astros were taking it, and the Dodgers were getting close, knocking at the door. They've been knocking at the door the last 5 or 7. Finally, they took it last year. Um, I mean, if you look back, it's basically been the same teams. The Phillies,
Yeah,
the
it
Rays
was.
were in it. The Rays were in it for a while. They were kicking ass for a couple years, and then they bounced out the last couple years. But it's been almost the same teams in the finals. Between Tampa, Houston,
Looks like
LA.
it's going to be like that again this year.
Yeah, I mean the Mets had a good run last year, right? They were shocking a lot of people in the playoffs. But I
Yeah.
think I think that run stops. I think that stops next year.
All right. Let's see the mailbag. Matt Blackstock's back.
What's up, Matt?
Matt said, hey guys, sorry about the mailbag. I forgot the questions last time. It's all good.
All good,
Been a
Matt.
busy month for me. He said, hope Cassio's not frozen. That got me laughing. Last time when I was like, here's the questions, and I just
That
sat
popped
there.
me too. Huge pop.
Let's see what he said. He said, I got my airplane tickets ready to go for Vegas. I'm getting ready.
There
Plus,
we go.
also, April 2nd on social media, he hopes we all take part in Show Your Blue for Autism Awareness.
sweet,
How about that?
sweet,
We
nice.
will.
Yes, sir.
He said, now the questions. I got the ticket to go to Vegas. I'll be flying to Charlotte, to Denver, and they're going to be staying at the Denver airport for a couple hours. After that, straight to Vegas. I've never been to Denver before, but I heard the Denver airport is so big. It is a big airport.
Yes, it is.
He said, what's your favorite spot to go to in Denver, Chioda?
In Denver, it was Colorado Springs area. I mean, Denver was nice downtown. It was always far. Like if you stayed at the airport, it was like 30-minute drive downtown. Downtown was nice, but not a very big downtown. But I like Colorado Springs more. I remember we stayed there quite a few times, and we actually went whitewater rafting and stuff down the river. Man, it was fucking badass. I mean, we had a good time. Me and Matt Bloom, we was A-Train back then, and a couple of other boys in Epigone, Primo. We went out and did some more whitewater rafting and hiking and some other stuff. Man, a couple of days we stayed earlier or stayed later. I mean, it was more the mountain areas, out in the Colorado Springs area.
Also, he said in Vegas, he likes to hang out at Fremont Street. What's your favorite Vegas? Do you like Fremont? He asked.
I don't know. Fremont. I don't know.
Fremont's the downtown where the Nugget is. They got the awning over top with all the lights.
Oh, yeah. I got you. Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of the new hopping place. They've revitalized it a little bit.
Really? All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I don't know. I'll check it out. I'll have to see the revamped Fremont Street.
Yeah, that's the old school. That's off the strip.
I mean, I've been to Vegas so many times, man. It's just done. I want to see that. I want to go to the Sphere.
Yeah.
The Grateful Dead's there, and I love the Grateful Dead from years ago.
Get in there, dude. Get crispy with them.
Yeah,
dude.
my wife
Come
still
on.
she don't like the Dead. She don't even know what the Dead sings, And I'm like, oh, babe. I'm like,
yeah, dude, you can still have fun. It's a visual experience. Yeah.
Yeah. So I know it's visual.
And also, Matt said on I don't know if you remember this, but he said on SmackDown, 7/4/2002, July 4th, 2002, you ref a Taker and Angle match. What happened at the end of the match? He said he saw production edited the match with 2 different takes. Do you remember this, Mike?
No, I don't. Damn.
We'll have to do some research on that.
Yeah,
I'll have to go back and check it out.
Damn, that was a damn good question there, Matt. He came back strong this week.
Yeah, he said, love your faces. Now I hope Cassio doesn't get frozen again.
He just froze up.
No, I was faking it. He said, "Zombie,
love
thanks,
your
Matt.
face, man. Love your face.
Appreciate
man.
it, brother." Let's see. Tony Flower says, "What's up, gentlemen?" Mike, did the WWE ever provide things like 401k, retirement accounts, IRAs? I'd assume when you are an employee, these things apply, but did they offer any type of financial services, financial education to the people who were contractors? Thanks, guys. Thanks, Tony.
Yeah, that's a good question, Tony. They did. When I was an employee for 20-some years, like for years, Yeah, I mean, everything was covered. Health insurance, my 401k. After 15 years I was there, Linda called me up. Linda McMahon said, she called me and Tony up right after we were on the road and she called us up. No, we were on the road, but we were in Connecticut. She's seen us in Connecticut. We talked to her. Then we get a phone call and says, hold on one sec. Linda McMahon would like to speak to you. It was her, assistant. Sure. And then she said, Mike, we're going to give you stocks. We're going to give you for every year 2,000. So you'll get, like 30,000 shares in stocks and stuff like that. I was like, oh my God, great. Thank you so much. I remember when the stocks first came out, it was like over $1 million, my stock, but you couldn't touch it for so long or something. So it was just whatever would have panned out. But it was awesome. The company gave us stocks.
Nice.
Company gave us everything, bro, when we were employees and all that. And fortunately, when Johnny came in, he cut everybody's shit and all that stuff. Johnny Laurinaitis came in. Yeah. He was he was the chopper. He put everything on the chop block, man. He cut everybody's pay, cut everybody's this, we're not paying for your rental car, we're not doing this. So
you're not the only one that was not happy when
right.
Laurinaitis
I mean,
popped.
be honest with you, he's like Doge.
Almost everybody I talked to was not a fan.
I bet.
Let's see what we got. Oh, Ben Jones just joined us. Ben, you just missed your question.
What's up, Ben? Good morning,
Good day,
everyone.
Ben.
He said, good morning, everyone.
Good morning, mate.
Good morning, mate.
Thanks for joining us over there.
Yes,
let's see what else we got. Let's get some from the live chat. I know we got a couple over there. Matthew Rodriguez said, serious question. What if AEW, instead of Aubrey Edwards, wanted Mike to ref the Hollywood ending of Tony Storm and Mariah May? Would you put the gloves on and do the match with that bloodbath with the ladies?
Hell yeah, I do it. Hell yeah. Oh yeah. No match too small. Shit, I'd do it. Hell yeah.
That was a great match, Matthew. Appreciate you bringing it up. And Mike's in. Dave McClay's back. He said, would you rather not drink for the rest of your life or not consume cannabis for the rest of your life?
I would have to stick with the cannabis and stick with that. I would have to not drink.
Get rid of the poison.
Get rid of
that old liquid poison, my friend.
Get rid of the devil.
Get rid of the devil.
Get rid of the devil.
James Sorensen joined us. Here we go.
Dave.
James says,
hashtag
ask the greatest ref ever. Do you remember the Raw match between Cena and Shawn Michaels, April of 2000 that went 1 hour? It was not advertised as an Iron Man match. Do you think it's one for the ages? What do you remember about that?
Man, I remember working our asses off, blowing up 5 times in that ring. We had a hell of a match. I don't know. I want to say that was 2000. Was that in 02? The O2 Arena in London? Because I remember they had one there too. But maybe not. Maybe that was later on. But that was a phenomenal match, bro. Phenomenal match. 07 of April. Was that WrestleMania?
I was trying to see. Was that Cena or did he say it was Orton?
He said it was Cena and Shawn Michaels.
Iron Man match. April 23rd, 2007. Lasted 50 plus minutes on Raw.
Yeah, was that at the O2 in London though?
Yeah, I was trying to find out.
We did one in O2 at the O2 Arena. Yeah, when I passed by that arena in London, man, I was like, God, so many memories. Yeah, James Sorensen said it was in London. Yeah, that was it, man. That was a badass match, bro. I remember coming off. I don't know if we just talked about that, but I remember being so tired after a 2-week tour. Then we had a little bit to go, I guess, and I remember I was beat and thinking, okay, TVs, do a match. All right, cool. Right. Next thing you know, fucking Cena's like, we're getting off the bus, go to an arena. He's like, oh, Chioda, you ready for tonight? I was like, yeah, why? What's going on? Why are you all fired up? He goes, you better get fired up. We got an hour fucking marathon tonight. What? I'm like, he's like, me and Sean got it. I'm like, oh my God, no. Bro, after that match, I was so sore, Cass. My whole body was just completely. I mean, I must have burned about 500 calories. I was so fucking sore, and the place was packed. Match was fucking unbelievable, bro. There it is. There it is.
Yeah, that
Telling
place
you.
looks packed to the rafters,
It was
bro.
packed, bro. Yeah, it was packed.
Woo!
Yep. The O2 Arena. Yep.
Epic night.
Yeah.
We're
Sure
still
was.
talking about it. That's a good sign.
Sure was, man.
That's a good sign. Let's see what else we got in the mailbag. We got Adam Krasnoff.
Oh yeah.
He said Drake Wirtz once told me that Vince McMahon fussed at him because the Revival jumped the New Day from behind before the match started. The match carried on, but Drake forgot to ring the bell to start the match.
Oh shit, really?
That got me thinking, were there any pet peeves or things Vince was a real stickler about when it came to reffing matches? For example, how you did the 10 count outside the ring,
Yes.
positioning yourself in the ring, anything small that could really get us chewed out.
Yes. I mean, if you didn't do what you're supposed to do as a ref, and it's your job, and like he used to tell you, you take your job and you take it serious as a shoot, as a referee. Everything you take serious. Um, if you fuck up spots like that, I mean, that may have not happened in front of SmackDown or Raw. That might have happened at NXT.
Yeah.
So Vince wasn't there and didn't see it, maybe. Um, so I believe maybe it happened in NXT, unless it did happen when I don't know if Drake did too many matches. He did a little bit here and there, maybe, um, up in the roster, but he was always down at NXT, so that could have happened in NXT. But if you fuck up something like that, I mean, Vince was very animated about when the boys used to fight in outside the ring before the match, or it was something like just he had a big pet peeve on when ring that bell when the talent gets in the ring. They could be fighting all over the place, and he was like, and I don't want that fucking bell until the talent fucking gets in the ring, and then start that match when both talent are in the ring. I mean, he had a huge. He wouldn't want you to start the bell if somebody was injured, like on a uh, cash in, Money in the Bank cash in,
Yeah.
and somebody's selling. That person selling, it was big and a huge pet peeve them to make them get up on their feet, whether they're groggy or not. They had to get up on the feet, and you had to ask them, "Can you continue? Can you continue?" He wanted to see that drama for that bell, so he was a very big pet peeve with certain things with the bell. That's for sure.
That way we would know they are not hurt, ready to go, but they're hurt, but they can
Right.
still continue and we can
Right.
go
Right.
on with whatever the cash in is. All right.
Yes. Yes.
Uh, this is a funny one. Krasnov said, do you know who the referee was for the Shawn Michaels Tito Santana match at WrestleMania 8? He looks like a Lego man. So I had to go find this match and see who this was, and let's see if you recognize who it was.
Yeah,
Who he claims looks like a Lego man.
Oh yeah, that's Roger Ruffin. That's Roger Ruffin. Yep,
Tell
from
us
Ohio.
about Roger Ruffin.
Yeah, he was a cool dude, man. He's a good ref. He was really a good ref, and I liked him a lot. And
He's got that Lego haircut, though.
yeah, he used to work the whole Ohio area. Yeah, he was. I know.
He's got that hair, buddy.
That's a good one. Yeah,
Yeah.
the bow tie and the shirt and the Lego.
Look at him.
Cut.
Yeah, hey, that's a big man. He's on a Mania reffing, dude.
That's
big.
Yeah, I mean, he was a good ref too. I mean, I remember he was always he was out of Ohio. I want to say Cleveland, maybe, or Cincinnati, something like that. But he did the whole Ohio area, Illinois type, and he used to be on the commission. So, I mean, but he used to do a lot of matches, man. He used to get a lot of matches. Because he was a good ref too.
What do you remember whatever happened to him?
Just, I think once they got rid of the commission and stuff like that, I think he was just, along with the other refs that just never worked for us again.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Aaron Sheen's in the chat.
Cool.
I think Aaron's over in Australia maybe as well.
Oh, nice.
I know he's across the pond somewhere. He said every wrestler has that one ref they feel comfortable with. Who was your guys?
Bunch of guys, man. I felt comfortable with Shawn, Cena.
Who always requested you?
There was a lot of guys that did. The Rock. I mean, there was a bunch of guys that requested me over in their matches. And Shawn, Shawn would have me doing his matches. And There was a lot of guys. That's like I said, I never politic these matches. It's either the agents, but the agents would always, or Vince would always, they would get okays from the talent and say, hey, who do you want for your ref? Oh, we'll take Chioda. Okay, good. Then after the you're doing this match, Chioda. And that would be before, like, I would get the notice 2 weeks before a pay-per-view. Chioda, you got this match coming up in 2 weeks.
Was there on the flip side? Do you remember anybody ever not wanting to work with you?
Not to my recollection.
Not that you know of to your face.
Not that I know of. Yeah, to my face. There's not.
All right.
But then I can't say I never worked a certain talent with the WWE either. I worked with all the talent. So
yeah. So there was nobody you went, hey, why am I not working with this guy?
Right.
All right.
That's a good feeling.
We got a question from the chat. Rajiv says, of all the hairstyles he's had, what was your favorite, the mullet or the short haircut?
No, I'd have to say the short haircut. The mullet. I mean, sometimes the mullet was looking.
Mullet's iconic, baby.
Yeah, I know. That's a good question.
I mean, look, it's so iconic. We got a little action on the wrestling figure, dude.
That's that mullet. That's it.
Go get that retro wrestling figure. Yeah, dude.
Up top.
Get the little ducktail in the back. Dude, you had it like you liked it, brother. You had it like you liked it. So good they put it on your first figure, baby. Go and get that, man.
Tell me about it.
Let's see what else we got. That was a great question. Appreciate you joining us.
That was good.
Dave McClay said, Mike, is the reason the wrestlers and referees go into attack mode when a fan jumps a rail is because if the fan is crazy enough to do that, who knows what he's about to do?
That's exactly what it is, Dave.
Yeah,
totally. You just don't know what the fans are going to do sometimes. But there are times, quite a few times, where I've stopped young kids and never wanted, seen it right away and just either hold the kid. I remember one kid slid in the ring. I caught him before he got even up. And I kind of just put my knee on him to hold him down and, just put my weight and just, and I was like, he's a young kid, because, young kids used to do that too. So you never wanted to hit a young kid. That's for sure. Yeah, but some guys, like in Germany at that time, and like, with Triple H and Stone Cold in the ring with China there, and there's quite a few other times you just didn't know. And if you're in certain areas like Puerto Rico and certain other places, like where it gets bad sometimes when the heat goes, when somebody gets some real major heat or something, and they're pissed off. So just to watch out for shit. That's for sure. I mean, Philly was bad. Fucking Philly was horrible half the time. They'd be throwing shit, beers, and fucking everything at you.
Yeah, I've heard you and Mike. You and Nick Patrick tell stories on the shows of just fighting your way out of there, dude. You got to get out, man. It's just chaos.
Sometimes you're fighting your way out.
Hey, look, if you jump into the field of play on wrestling, football, basketball,
right,
soccer, I don't care what it. I hope you get whatever injury you get, because that's the number one rule: is don't cross the line. Don't get in to the arena unless you're going to take some punishment, man.
That's it.
And spear tackle them, taser. I don't care if you get on the field, because like you said, dude. You've seen some internet stuff, some hecklers on comics. As a comic, when you're on stage, there's over 100 people somewhere. If somebody comes up on that stage, it's game on. We're asking questions later.
That's it.
It's fight or flight right then. You got to
figure out
what's going on, dude.
And people throwing shit, man. I'll tell you, when things had a velocity, like when they throw things from a velocity, if it had some weight to it, man, it fucking stung you like a son of a gun. How many times I've gotten hit, or Chimmel or the boys, and they get fucking hot, man. You get hot because it just bang, it hits you out of the blue,
I don't know if you remember your artist, but Nick said when they had Bash at the Beach and they were at Panama City and set up at the club.
Oh yeah.
He said somebody filled a water bottle with sand and threw it and hit him in the back.
Fuck.
And he said he like came out of character for
you do. You come right out of you fucking come right out of character,
he's
man.
Like, if I could find who threw it. He's like, I looked and I was like, there's no way to find in a beach crowd who threw it. And what am I going to do? Jump in there?
Exactly right.
And he was like, man, that was the worst.
Nick's 100% right, man. You come out of character quick.
Yeah. We got to shut this down. Ben, no, I have not had to beat down any hecklers. Thank you. I knock on wood. Well, that won't be happening anytime soon. Rosie's in the chat. He
What's
said,
up,
"Which
Rosie?
ref could throw the best hands?"
I thought I could when I was back in the day when I was young.
You get in a fight with somebody, who you want on your side? What ref?
I have to say Danny Davis or Joey back in the day.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
I'd
right.
take Tim White, Fonzie. Tim White was a
Sounds like you had a bunch of scrappers.
yeah, no, we did. We did have some scrappers. Chad Patton, he's a strong, Chad Patton.
You're not taking Baby Nate with you? Come on, man.
What's that?
You're not taking Baby Nate with you, Charles Robinson?
Yeah.
He doesn't look like a scrapper.
He'd be like, woo, woo.
He's a lover, not a fighter.
That's right. He's a lover, not a fighter. But
hey, by the way, Darren gave us some more info. By the way, he could be making this whole thing up, and that would be the greatest rib ever. NCSB 404, an act to remember iconic combatants through fostering learning, awareness, and interest in wrestling. And if you will look, Mike, at the first letters, RICFLAIR, Ric Flair, it spells out in the description. How about that?
That is pretty bad. That's badass.
That's a cool name for the bill. So if that's the thing, and they're going to get money for the wrestling museum in North Carolina, that'll be huge.
That is pretty cool. I didn't even notice that you said it. Yeah,
I don't know if is it passed yet, Darren? You have to let us know. I don't know if it's passed yet or just proposed, but either way, that sounds pretty cool. I hope if it's proposed, I hope it gets passed. We'll see.
Yeah.
And before we get out of here, Lauren Easton's got some would you rathers. You know that.
Yep.
So here we go. Mike, would you rather only eat unripe bananas or only eat squishy, a little too old bananas?
Unripe.
Just the stiff.
Yeah, man. I would. I don't know. I can't. Sometimes, I mean, we have bananas in the house a lot, right? It's like sometimes you go in the fucking pantry and it's like, holy shit. I mean, they're so fucking wilted. And it's like, babe, I'm like, and you can't, it's like ready to see. I'm like, babe, why do we keep these things in here? I couldn't do it. I mean, she just made some banana bread last week with bananas like that.
Oh, I was about to say, the trick is cooking with them.
Right.
If they start going old, you sling them jokers in the banana bread or banana pudding. You gotta cook with them after that.
Yeah, she did that last week, and she actually put some chocolate chips in there. Oh, delicious.
Let's see. Would you rather eat chips that were hot and rock hard, or eat chips that were cold and soft? Does he mean chips as in French fries? Like fish and chips,
I don't know. No, I mean,
because chips are hard.
They say chips in Europe. So,
I think maybe we're talking French fries.
French fries?
Because, well, I don't know if they could be rock hard. I'm a little confused, Lauren. I've never had a cold chip.
Yeah, like.
Is it cold, like is it not spicy?
I've eaten cold chips, French fries. I've eaten cold French fries, too.
Yes, I've eaten cold French fries. Yes. They don't heat up well.
Yes, they don't.
Now, look, a soggy potato chip is gross.
No, it is. It's
That's gross.
You ever see one of those fucking hot chips? Those real extreme hot chips?
Yeah, like the one chip.
Oh my God, you see people eat that, man. My wife's son, Kyle, for Christmas, he ate one of those, bro. Oh my God.
By the way, I think everybody in the chat should riot right now and make Mike eat one of those on the show one time.
No, fuck no.
Oh, Matt, look, Matt's joining us live. What's up, Matt? Appreciate you. We just got to your question
as
well.
What's up, Matt? Yeah.
Let's see. Lauren said, would you rather eat Christmas dinner on a really hot day or only eat ice cream at Christmas? I'm crushing Christmas dinner on a hot day.
I know. I would have to.
I remember a few years ago it was Christmas and it was like 70 for some reason. Like it was one of those weird abnormal, and it didn't do nothing. It just come on.
No, it did. But I do hate it when when it's so
blazing hot.
Yeah. When it's hot outside in Florida, man, and it's even in Texas when it's Christmas It just doesn't
You're
feel
like,
like
we don't want to
Christmas.
roast a turkey and a
It's
ham
it's
and
weird.
cook all this stuff.
So not used to it, growing up in New Jersey in the Northeast, and God, always
So
used to
you
the
going
cold.
only ice cream at Christmas?
No, I just still have to go Christmas
You
on a
got to
hot.
go the variety, yeah.
I'd be eating fucking Christmas dinner in a desert on a 125-degree day if it was
Look at
Christmas.
that. Ben over in Australia said it's summer here in Christmas. That's all. So
That's
it's
it.
all he knows.
That's it, right?
Hot Christmas, baby.
Yep. Their winters are our summers. Our summers are their winters. I know. That's awesome.
And last but not least, Lauren said, would you rather give up bread or give up cheese?
Fuck.
Now, if Lauren was here, I would ask some questions. Does that mean any bread? Like,
Yeah, it's got to be any bread.
so like no pizza dough?
I know. I wasn't even thinking about the pizza. That's a good point. I was thinking about like
Or we
ham
just sandwich
sandwiches,
bread, like
salami.
white bread,
Yeah, like
Subway bread.
right.
Okay, let's go just that. It's just bread. Buns.
I couldn't give up bread because it's too much. Like
Are you giving up cheese?
Yeah, because you're eating hamburgers, pizza,
Yeah, dude.
ham sandwich. All right. If I don't have the cheese, I put ham, salami, prosciutto, or some make it a little Italian. There's so much peanut butter and jelly. I just had
I want to. That's true.
my
But I
wife
do
made
want to
me
get
a
up. I want to
double stacker peanut butter and jelly the other night.
double stack.
Three pieces of fucking.
Are you a
bread.
double stacker peanut
Bro,
butter and jelly?
I love extra peanut butter and jelly. It's got to be like it's once in a blue moon, but it's got to be like not no
Okay,
cheese,
wait.
double
With
stacker.
3 pieces,
bread.
tell me the process of putting it on. You got 1 piece. You going peanut butter on the bottom?
Yep. Jelly on the top. Yep.
Okay, and this piece has got jelly. The middle piece, jelly and peanut butter.
Yeah. So
then you put peanut butter on the flip side of that jelly one.
No, it's peanut butter.
Okay.
And jelly. Then you make that one sandwich with 2 pieces of bread. Then you put the peanut butter on that top piece and put the jelly on the other piece and just add that. So it's 3 pieces of bread, but it's double. And I put it on nice and thick too.
You ever had you ever grill them?
You know what? My wife has done that. It's the first time I ever fucking tasted a grilled peanut butter and jelly. Yes. It was the first time. It was great. It was great.
That's good stuff.
It was great. But I just like the regular peanut butter and jelly with some soft Wonder Bread or some soft
Come
bread,
on now. You wheat bread guy or white bread?
Wheat bread when you're trying to eat healthy, just mentally, I think. But I'm a white bread guy.
White bread's the jam.
It's Wonder
like you
white
said,
bread.
Good soft white bread, man. Woo!
If you're gonna have a nice good roll in the Northeast, right, you're not gonna order a wheat roll. Cheesesteak. Oh, let me get a cheesesteak with fried onions, extra cheese, provolone, hot peppers, and let me get a wheat bread.
Wheat bun.
Wheat. No way.
What is it? Dave McClay's put twice peanut butter and ladies. Oh, okay. I think that might be a strip club on Fremont that you got to go to. All right, everybody, man. This has been a fun one. This hour flew by, dude.
Oh shit! Is it over already?
Yeah, we're already an hour. Ashley, live is always awesome. See you on the next one.
Yes.
Yeah. Man,
all right, Ashley, that package is on the way to Montana, Yellowstone.
You got him a package going?
Yeah, I sent some few pics. Yeah.
Nice, dude.
Yep.
Well, thanks for everybody for joining us in the live chat. Thanks for everybody getting us questions.
Good to see everybody back. Dave McClay, Ben, thank you, everybody. Matt.
Dave McClay, Matt Blackstock, Ben Jones, Ashley, Coach Rosie, Sorensen, Aaron Sheen, Matthew Rodriguez over in Spain. Boy, we've had Europe, Spain, Phoenix, which is another planet,
Australia,
basically. Nebraska, Australia. We've had it all in here.
That's awesome, man.
Today, man. Great time, great stuff. If you are watching this, drop a comment below and let us know a question that we can answer in 2 weeks back here on the mailbag. Mike, you got anything coming up?
Man, I got my class coming up this weekend in Orlando. Storytellers, it's awesome. It's gonna
Chioda Masterclass, baby.
Masterclass 4. So we got about 17 students. We just had another student sign up last night. So it's going to be great, man. I'm looking forward to it. 2 days of really getting down, teaching, some returning students and also a lot of new students.
As we come back, we'll get a full report on how that went, man. We'll need some pictures and all kind of stuff.
And it's getting ready for Vegas coming up, man. I got WrestleCon, so I'll be out there from the 7th.
During Mania week?
Yeah, so it's going to be nice, man. I'm out there I'm out there for a little bit, like 5-6 days, but Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday have the signings.
All right. James wants to know, you going to Bully Ray's party in Vegas?
Oh, shit. When is that party? Damn, James.
It doesn't sound like he was, but now he wants to. Now that he knows about it, it sounds like.
I know. Well, I was just talking to Santino today, so he's got TNA on Thursday. I got a signing from 4 to 8. And then Rey Mysterio is working at some club called The Live. So he'll be there from I think he's doing something from 8 to 4 in the morning. I seen him advertise. I know, that's what I said, man.
Whoa.
So I'm going to try and I just told Sam we're going to try and hook up at The Live at some point. I can't be too late, man, because I got a 9 o'clock signing on Friday morning. I don't want to be coming in fucking hungover, which I know that's So, there's a lot of things, man. So got to catch up with some friends, and I want to catch up with RVD and stuff, and a bunch of other guys out there. So looking forward to Vegas, man. It's going to be a lot of fun.
All right, so y'all check it out. Follow us on social media at MJC Chioda. I am at the Casio Kid. Thanks for being a part of the ad-free shows family. Again, drop those questions. It can be about anything: wrestling, sports, food, random. It can be about anything. Drop it. The Coyote over there is going to howl at you and answer that. We'll see you back here again 2 weeks. Thanks, everybody. Mike, I know you're busy, brother. Thanks for sitting down with us as always, my man.
Anytime, Cass. Love you. Thank you very much, everybody. And thank you, Cass. One love.
One love, everybody.
Fair and square, that's his mojo, baby. Taking care of business in that straight attire. Wrestling fame, he's the flame, brings the fire. Mailbag time, hear the crowd roar. Like